Prologue to the Canterbury Tales. Prologue, not prologue. Like that, Canterbury, not Canterbury. Prologue to the Canterbury Tales. Chaucer. Chaucer has no name in the general prologue, but Chaucer is one of the characters who gather at the tabard inn. A knight is a man who has been given a title of honor by a ruler for good work he has done and who can use "Sir" in front of his name. The knight is a nobleman who fights for the truth and for Christ rather than his own glory of wealth. He has travelled throughout many non-religious lands victoriously. The knight is one of the squire. The squire. A squire is a man of high social standing who owns and lives on an estate in a rural area. The squire is a young knight in training, a member of the noble class. While he is chivalrous and refined, he is not quite as perfect as his father, the knight. The prioress. The prioress attempts to be dainty and well-bred. Chaucer makes fun of her by describing how she speaks French with a terrible accent and sings the liturgy straight through her nose. The monk. The monk is another religious character but is correct. Instead of reading in his cell, the monk prefers to go hunting even though this is against the rules of the order of Saint Benedict. The friar. The friar is a member of any of certain religious orders of man. In medieval society, friars were mendicants or beggars. Although they were supposed to be humble and modest, this friar is jolly. The merchant. A merchant outfits himself in a fashionable attire, multicolored dresses, forked beard. He is a member of a new rising middle class that Chaucer, the author, belongs to. The man of laws. Like the merchant, the man of laws is also a member of the new middle class. He works hard and attempts to attain a higher status from simple birth. The franklin. A franklin is a free, wealthy landowner. Excellent host. He always keeps his table set for feasts. He provides frequent meals and entertainment for the peasants who live on the land. The wife of Bath. The wife of Bath comes from the town of Bath. Bath is on the bank of Avonlea. She is a seamstress by trade, but a professional wife by occupation. She has been married 5 times. Reeve. In medieval society, a reeve is the manager of an estate. This reeve is slender, old and bad-tempered. Everyone is afraid of him because he knows all the tricks of trade. The summoner. A summoner is a person who practices evocation, the act of calling upon, summoning a spirit or deity. தமிழில் சொல்ல போனால் சாமி வரவழைத்தல். கிராமப்புறங்களில் பெண்கள் சாமி ஆடி சாமி வரவழைப்பாங்க. அந்த மாதிரியான ப்ராக்டிஸ் அங்கே வந்திருக்கு. The summary is another supposed devout religious figure who is actually fraud. In medieval society, summoners brought people to the religious court and confessed their sins. In medieval society, summoners brought people to the religious courts to confess their sins. He has a disgusting skin disease. The host. A host at the Tabard Inn, Harry Bailey, is a jolly, lively tavern keeper. He establishes the mainframe narrative of the tales. He is the one who proposes the tale-telling game. A carpenter. The foolish, gullible old carpenter is very possessive of his beautiful young wife Alison. The carpenter criticizes Nicholas, the scholar, for looking into goddess pryvetee. That means private parts of woman. Nicholas is a poor young scholar from Oxford who studies astrology and is much cleverer than the foolish carpenter. Nicholas is lively and lusty and he likes to play tricks. He sleeps with Alison directly. Alison is a beautiful, flirtatious young wife of the carpenter. When Nicholas woos her, she thinks nothing of her marital obligations and has no guilt at having an affair with a dashing young scholar. Absalom is a well-perished clerk who also tries to woo Alison. Nicholas. Unlike the poor Nicholas, Absalom is able to shower gifts and money on Alison. But Alison scorns his advances. The miller's wife. Unlike Alison, the wife in the miller's tale is much younger than her husband. The miller's wife is probably at least as old as the miller, considering they have a 20-year-old daughter. Jankyn, the fifth and final of the wife of Bart's husband, the only one whom she names in her prologue. Unlike the other husbands, Jankyn is not rich and old, but young and poor. The knight. The unnamed knight in the wife of Bart's tale is foolish. He is an early, lusty bachelor who breaks the code of chivalry, and when he rapes a maiden in the woods. He is sent by the queen. The ugly but wise old woman in the tale is a common character in legends, but actually contains magical powers. The queen. The queen is unnamed. She is probably Guinevere, a white fairy out of Arthurian legend. She handles most of the power in the kingdom. She orders the king to have mercy on the knight. Sir Thopas. Young, brave Sir Thopas is a knight in the both literal springtime and the figurative spring of his life. He is just starting forth on all his adventures. Chanticleer. The Chanticleer is the clock. The widow's prized possession is the lord of the barnyard. He has 7 hen wives and his plumage is described as though it were made of jewels. Thank you, dears. Best wishes. That's all.